Finance and investment scams continue to plague South Dakotans with high dollar amount losses. They prey on vulnerable adults and swindle consumers out of their funds. Scammers befriend the victim, making it difficult for them to see the reality of what's happening. If you have a loved one susceptible to this type of scam, sit down and talk with them about these issues before it happens to them. If you or a loved one have been scammed in this manner, please reach out to the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division at 800-300-1986.
Chatting with Brian at Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail. Boy, summer is flying by.
That it is. And while it's still here, we'll keep your rig in tip-top shape for the last few road trips of the season.
Being a AAA and ASC certified shop, I know you guys are well equipped to do just that.
Yes, sir. We're here to take care of all your automotive needs. So from oil changes, batteries, tires, to cooling systems and AC charges and repairs, and basically any automotive repair issue, we're your answer.
Nothing like one-stop shopping.
That's our goal. Plus, we carry over 50 brand name tires and have deals as good as anywhere. And simply the best brake deal around at just $399 per axle for most vehicles, including pads, rotors, labor, and a lifetime warranty as long as you own the rig.
And I'll say it again, that's one incredible brake deal.
It sure is. So come see us to keep living a happy and affordable motoring life.
Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail, everybody. The place to trust. Your complete AAA and ASC certified automotive repair specialist. See AnytimeAnytime.com and at the corner of Highway 79 and East Minnesota.
Anytime Auto Sales.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City.
And here's what you need to know.
Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift announced their engagement today on Instagram with the caption, "Your English teacher and your gym teacher are getting married." The New Orleans Saints named Spencer Rattler their starting quarterback. Rookie Tyler Shuck will be the backup. The Saints also released running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire and moved Taysom Hill to the physically unable to perform list. NFL media reports the Los Angeles Chargers are moving running back Najee Harris from the non-football injury list to the active roster. Rookie Shedeur Sanders made the Cleveland Browns 53-man roster and will serve as the third-string quarterback behind Joe Flacco and Dylan Gabriel, according to head coach Kevin Stefanski. The New York Giants are releasing quarterback Tommy DeVito. The Washington Commanders waived quarterback Sam Hartman. And the Carolina Panthers released receiver Hunter Renfrow. I'm Isaac Lowenkron.
It's time for South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, great interviews, and thought-provoking sports talk. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, here we go. Welcome in on a Tuesday. The Nate Brown Show is back and ready. Your afternoon drive. Here we are. Thought-provoking sports talk. It's always a great day in South Dakota. How you doing? South Dakota Sports Talk Show live on Fox Sports Radio. Let's get going tonight. Remember, you can stream us on X right now, at Nate Brown Show. We also announced yesterday our new partnership with Midwest Sports Plus, so glad to have our affiliates across the state, and, of course, on streaming Midwest Sports Plus. Welcome in there. One more place you can watch us. We just got some subscribers on YouTube. If you're a YouTube guy, The Nate Brown Show, find us on YouTube. You've got us live there. Tuesday edition of the program looks good. We're going to get into some South Dakota State with Athletic Director Justin Sell. How about a big interview with Justin Sell tonight before the home opener coming up this weekend against Sac State. A lot to talk Jacks football and more with Justin Sell coming up. He'll kick things off tonight. SDSU Athletic Director live from Brookings. Also, great guest lineup includes Mike Golick Jr. popping on in, college football analyst for TNT Sports, and also Golick and Golick host with his dad on FanDuel Sports Network. Mike Golick Jr. is in. It's a Tuesday, so that means Brian Noe is on tonight, talking NFL, talking some ball with Brian Noe, countdown host, national host on Fox Sports Radio. You hear him on the weekends and here on the Nate Brown Show weekly. Brian Noe is in, and one more high school football check-in today. We'll do more, but the season is upon us, and Matt McIntosh is on from Rapid City Christian. We've done a lot of East River and West River check-ins. We'll go to Rapid City Christian head football coach Matt McIntosh. That program has really grown. They jumped on the scene the last couple of years, really competitive. They lost some guys now, a great quarterback and more. Where does Rapid City Christian go? They've got Canton coming up on Friday. and it's a home opener for Rapid City Christian. It's homecoming. I've never seen that. Is that the first time in history we had a first game of the season as homecoming? All right, Matt McIntosh in from Rapid City Christian. High school to college to the pros. Let's get you going tonight. If you want to be on the show, you can do that. Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline, 605-720-1067. That's the number. Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline powered by the Pizza Ranch. Our great coverage of the Pizza Ranch from Sioux Falls at East 10th Street to Brandon. They got you covered East River. Also 2 locations in Rapid City, home of everyone's favorite buffet. Your locally owned and operated Pizza Ranch and great supporters of their local communities and sports teams. Hit the Pizza Ranch buffet tonight and hit us on the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline, 605-720-1067. You can be there. And one more, text line, 605-720-1067. Now you know that. Barron's Wilson text line for you, 605-720-1067. And I would like some texts tonight, some calls tonight. It's fine. I'd like to know how emotional you are today with the biggest sports story in history. I'm serious about this. I'm not going to go crazy, but I am going to say, let's dig into just a few minutes of this. Just a few minutes. That's all. I'm not going to go crazy on this because I actually think it's a weird phenomenon with our culture. It's a celebrity-focused culture. I mean, we just are infatuated with celebrities. And my people that I've been wanting to see and meet throughout my life, they were sports stars. So I get this. Like, I always dreamt of meeting Michael Jordan, and then I actually covered him when he was with the Washington Wizards and the front office and stuff back in D.C., and so I never quite got that childhood dream, but then I started covering Michael Jordan, and it was one of those things, surreal in the moment. But the biggest thing about our culture today is we are so dialed in on celebrities, and I wonder if this story is a sports story at all, because this story has been the number one headline on ESPN. I just checked before the show started. Number one story headline on ESPN all day. And that takes something there. I mean, they're usually running stories left and right. So number one there. Number one on FoxSports.com. 3 stories on CBS Sports. So I just ran through this and said, this has to be a little bit embarrassing for the sports media today. Does it not, that we put the number one story as Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's engagement? So this is the thing. I want to dig into this. This isn't my number one story, but everybody in the world is making it the number one story. And to me, it sounds like it's like, why would they put this on Fox Sports and ESPN as the number one story? Because I think there's a lot of people that get riled up with this. Like, here's where I'm at. I'm not a Taylor Swift hater. I'm not one of the guys that yells at the TV when they showed her the last couple of years. So I'm not that guy. I did not yell at the TV and just get so upset. Although we got Jeff across the state here, he responded. He is kind of one of those guys. He said, I don't like seeing Taylor Swift on the TV. Some of you have responded to this on the text line saying, I can't take it. I can't take the Taylor Swift coverage on the Chiefs games, and I'm just sick of it. I've got a buddy of mine who I just met with today, by the way. We didn't touch on this topic. I wanted to keep him cool. He just absolutely can't stand the obsession of the Taylor Swift story and the Chiefs games and showing Taylor on the TV at all. He just can't stand it. I'm not one of those guys. I have to admit, I'm like, it's fine. I've got a lot of things to be worked up about in my life, okay, and more important stuff. So I'm not worried about Taylor getting shown on the Chiefs games. I'm really not. I don't know where you stand on this, but it is rather over the top that the Travis Kelce Taylor Swift engagement is the number one story. They asked Donald Trump about it today. What's your reaction to Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce getting married? And then it's the number one sports story. I'm just going to ask you, the audience, the Nate Brown Show across South Dakota, I want to know if I'm off on this. Is this a sports story? Because it's number one headline on all the sports websites. And, of course, Covino and Rich, they had at it here on Fox Sports Radio. You expect that. But I'm looking at it from this side saying the Taylor Swift thing has grown the audience into the football, into the NFL. That has been a factor, so I'm not going to downplay that. It's brought new people into the games to be like, wait, I want to see Taylor Swift, so I'm going to watch the Chiefs. These aren't the people, though, that are going to foxsports.com and ESPN.com today. They're going to all these other places like Instagram and whatever all the gossip places are. These new people that follow Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, they're not into the sports websites. I'm sure they haven't visited CBSSports.com in a long time, maybe ever. Yet the CBS Sports and the media companies today have made it a sports story because it involves Travis Kelce. There's 3 stories up there on CBS about it. I don't see it as a sports story. I see it as a celebrity infatuation, and I guess our culture is so dialed in on this that even with some people being turned off by the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce phenomenon, these companies on the sports side said, hey, we got to keep this story up there. We got to make it number one on ESPN, number one on Fox Sports. It's turned into this thing. And Matt Kearney, the producer of the Nate Brown Show, made a good reference before we started today. Here's what he thinks. Now that they're engaged, he said the next thing is how many people are going to be watching a wedding that is televised. I just had it. I've just had it. I'm worn out. I said, I had a good show. We had it going on today. We're going to get into some good stuff. And then we got the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce celebrity infatuation. It just tells you a lot about where we're at. And I'm not a hater at all. I'm not a fan of Travis Kelce. You guys know this. So good luck. It's fine. We didn't treat this Tom Brady and Giselle like this. What's the deal? Now, Giselle is, not even close to Taylor, so maybe that's part of it. But I do believe our culture has just become more and more Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce. They're engaged, and people lose their minds. Where are our brains? They lose their minds because they're engaged. It's fine. It's good. Have a good day. Live your life. Take care of your family. Have some responsibility. And for God's sakes, don't put it as the number one sports story anymore. Okay, is that it? Okay. That's all I got. I'm not a hater, but I'm not going down the sports category. It's not a sports story, correct? What's your vote? Travis Kelce engaged to Taylor Swift. I say it's not a sports story, but the sports media companies have to get in on it. They have to do it. They can't just let it go. Is this going to keep going tomorrow? We're going to have all sorts. And then what about the televised wedding? Matt Kearney said there's going to be millions of people that want to watch this wedding. Okay, let's see. 66% of you are voting on Twitter. It is not a sports story. Thank you. I'm with you. We can keep fighting this battle. And they're going to show Taylor this year. It's fine. I do not complain about that. I rarely even touched on that at all. I didn't even touch on that during the football season. It was like, this is something to just complain about because we all like complaining. But this one here is the biggest story of the day. Like, it's the biggest story of the day. They asked the president about it at the cabinet meeting. They're discussing all sorts of stuff with it. It's an engagement. It's good. Josh Allen didn't Josh Allen get married too? And we don't care about Josh. All right. 34% of you say it is a sports story. 34% of you say it is a sports story. Listener text, it could be a sports story if Taylor buys into the Kansas City Chiefs. All right. Listener text, should be happy for Travis He won the lottery. Okay, one more listener text. Nate, this Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce coverage isn't near as bad as the Caitlin Clark coverage. Oh, now, come on now. I mean, Caitlin Clark's a sports story. Caitlin Clark is a sports story. This is a celebrity People magazine story, right? I mean, come on now. Let's not go Caitlin Clark, Taylor Swift crossover. Listener text. The New Heights podcast saw a total of 20 million people watching earlier this month when Taylor Swift dropped her new album. Yeah. No, I know. It's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I've lost my mind. I'm no longer in the category of hip, cool, know what's going on. I'll stay in my lane. South Dakota sports, college, NFL, high school. I'll stay in my lane. And that's where we're going to go, okay? Have fun with Taylor and Travis. All the stories, all the good stuff and the gossip. Have a good time. I do want to say, sports media, come on now. That was too easy. Just put up the story. You got everybody to click on it. You kept it up the whole time. Who's clicking on that? Did you go to foxsports.com or ESPN.com? Did you guys click on that story? I didn't click. I do this show. I didn't click on the story. I know the story. That's it. Let's go to this. Now, this is interesting. Speaking of our world today, you know, the other thing I don't like on top of this celebrity infatuation and this embarrassment for sports media today, the other thing I don't like in our world, AI taking over sports stuff that I think we can still have some brain power. I know we're not going to get taken over by AI tomorrow, but it's starting to take us down the road of Major League Baseball uses everything, analytics, and the automated strike zone, and everything's going to be perfect. How about this in the NFL? This was just announced last week. This went under the radar, and I wonder how far this is going to go, because never say never. The NFL expanded their partnership with Microsoft last week. And what they're looking at in the release that was put out, Microsoft has a new system that could now filter plays while also programming certain instances where a team might face a certain decision in a game. You follow me on this? They can filter all of the plays in your playbook. They can look at the situation of the game, down and distance, what decision should you make? And you got Coach Staley over here, who's the first AI coach of the NFL. He's fired, by the way. But he said, well, we're going to go for it on every play, no matter what. How'd that work out for the Chargers, Coach Staley? Not so good. So now this is Microsoft announcing coaches and players have access to a new feature that will filter the plays, criteria based on down and distance, scoring plays, and analyze formations, decipher coverages in the defense, and make more data-driven strategic decisions. You know what that sounds like. They make more data-driven and strategic decisions. This sounds like I could punch this in, use AI, and say, AI's telling me to call this play in this situation. Am I going to trust Sean Payton or AI in this situation? That's what I'd like to know. That's what I'd like to know. And so this is going down that road. This is going down the AI road, saying AI is taking over the world. I get it. We're using AI in all sorts of businesses, right? All sorts of businesses. But now on the sports side, would you trust your NFL coach saying, hey, we filtered every play, every scenario, every down and distance. We got this play. This is the one. That's what I want to ask you today. Back to sports and the crossover with technology. What a world we're in. What a world we're in. You tell me tonight. That's my real question of the day after your Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce sports story fiasco. Would you be comfortable with your NFL coach using AI, Microsoft expanding their partnership And they're essentially saying, hey, we have this. We're gonna go through all sorts of stuff. You can go through plays. You can go through everything. You can essentially say, what should I call here? You know that's how baseball's gone anyway. You know baseball has gone down that road where they're like, hey, the analytics say take this guy out now. Well, no, he's really doing well. He's only giving up one hit. Yeah, but it's the third time through the lineup. The analytics say take him out now. And then it's a disaster. So how about AI calling a play? The defense changes on the fly, and then you throw an interception. Coaches have enough to deal with. Now we're going to have to decide, should I go with my gut and brain or use Microsoft's AI on the NFL sidelines? They're starting to get into that scenario. Nobody's telling you they're going to use AI to call plays. I wouldn't be surprised if it got pretty close in the near future. And I would absolutely hate it, as you might imagine. How about you? AI calling NFL plays using all of the data from the game, from the playbook, from the coverages, from the defense. AI's smarter than us, right? So you better use AI. You look like a dummy. Remember, they said use technology. Don't be a dummy. I want my coach using his gut and his brain a little bit. Why are we paying him the big bucks? Coming right back, Mike Golic Jr. kicking the show off next. College football analyst and host of Golic and Golic on the way.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Save big on your next painting project at Menards. Get long-lasting color with Pittsburgh's Grand Distinction Exterior Paint and Primer in one. It's highly dirt-resistant and provides a mildew-resistant coating. Save big on Grand Distinction Paint. The perfect combination of strength and beauty. Visit us in-store. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
At Dakota Bank, we're more than just a place to bank. We're your neighbors. From everyday banking to home mortgages, insurance, and trust services, we're here for every step of your financial journey. We believe in doing what's right for you because we live here, work here, and care about our communities just like you do. Go with confidence, go with trust, go with Dakota Bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Insurance and investment products are not FDIC insured, may lose value, and have no bank guarantee.
Host your next big event at the Box Elder Event Center, now featuring all new lighting, enhanced sound, and cutting-edge AV. Your destination for conventions, conferences, weddings, tournaments, concerts, and private parties of all kinds. Plus, their gourmet catering isn't just for on-site events, they'll deliver straight to you. Don't miss the Pickle Boo Pickleball Tournament October 24th to 26th, and Fall Hoop Fest November 7th to 9th. Learn more and book today at thebox.live.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Lows around 58 tonight under partly cloudy skies, south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mainly cloudy skies expected tomorrow, slight chance for storms, highs level off around 82. Overcast tomorrow night, lows level off around 58. Upper 70s Thursday and Friday with storms both days. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, it's 81 degrees.
Go Blue. Go Jacks.
Breaks the tackle. Stays on his feet. 40. Midfield. Hurdles a man.
20 conference titles and back-to-back national championships.
It's picked up. It's a scoop and a rumble inside the 25-yard line.
Join us live this Saturday. The Jackrabbits host the Sacramento State Hornets. Our coverage begins at 4.
This is your exclusive home for Jackrabbit football in western South Dakota. Fox Sports Rapid City.
Shop the Black Hills' best selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs, plus GM certified pre-owned at Danny Manhole Rapid Chevrolet. Shop over 350 used cars, trucks, and sport utilities, and buy with no money down, and make no payments for 90 days with qualified credit. All credit apps accepted. Choose from Chevys, GMCs, Rams, Fords, imports, and more. Over 350 of them. You could buy with no down and no payments for 90 days. See us at Danny Manhole Rapid Chevrolet or DannyManholeRapidChevrolet.com.
The doctors and staff at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center have provided expert bone, joint, and muscle care to patients in the Black Hills area since 1976. Whether you're an elite athlete, a weekend warrior, or just want to continue your active lifestyle, the orthopedic experts at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center will help you stay in the game. Don't let an injury keep you from doing the things you love. Trust the team at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, specializing in what moves you. Learn more at bhosc.com.
Your sports, your show. From East River to West River, this is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
Welcome back in South Dakota Sports Talk Show, from high school to college to the pros. Try and get you some good stuff each time out. Thanks for making this show possible on Fox Sports Radio across the state. Justin Sells coming up live from Brookings, South Dakota State Athletic Director, in tonight before the Jackrabbits home opener against Sacramento State. A showdown Saturday in Brookings. Justin Sell on tap. This had Matt Kearney, the producer of the Nate Brown Show, try and pull a fast one here. He's trying to get us to play some Taylor Swift. He's trying to get us to play some Taylor Swift. I'm not doing it. Anyway, Mike Golick Jr. is in on this. I was watching his show today. He's interested in this. FanDuel Sports Network, it's Golick and Golick. He's on X at Mike Golick Jr. Mike, my question of the day tonight in South Dakota: is the Taylor Swift-Travis Kelce engagement a sports story? Is it a sports story?
I mean, it led on ESPN.com. The NFL and numerous other sports teams and leagues have all tweeted it out. It involves arguably the greatest tight end in NFL history and a woman that's just completed one of the most, I'd say, athletically stunning performances across 2 years of a world tour we've ever seen. So it seems to check a lot of the boxes for me.
Okay. It checks the box. All right. Is this wedding, last one on this, and then we got to go. I'm sorry. Is this wedding going to be televised, and would it be massive?
It would be the biggest television event in my lifetime, like probably do like MASH series finale numbers. But no, I think like a lot of the rest of their relationship and the best, most intimate parts that we learned about on New Heights, like probably going to be left for them. We might get little snippets. Lord knows she loves giving Easter eggs out to the fans. But I have a feeling that will be a fun ceremony on some island that none of us have ever heard of or would be able to afford to get to, with a lot of really lucky people. Many of them, I'd imagine, tight end U guests that got to see her up close and personal this year, too.
All right, Mike Golick Jr. on a Taylor Swift-Travis Kelce Tuesday, the biggest story out there. I want to go to this. Speaking of our world today, AI is in a ton of businesses. And now I see this stuff with the NFL. I don't know how far it's going to go, but Microsoft has expanded the partnership with the NFL. They announced this last week. They got all sorts of AI technology, filtering plays, programming certain instances where a team might face a situation, a down and distance. What would be best? Is this something that's going to happen in the NFL with coaches looking at it and going, maybe I should run this play?
I think it's about optimizing what they've always been looking for, which is, hey, given what we know about our team, our personnel, what we're trying to run, what our strengths and weaknesses are, what are the best situations, whether it's down and dist, hash marker, placed on the field, red zone, middle of the field, coming out plays, like trying to take all the information that football coaches have deciphered via analog methods for years, having some poor GA in college, having to go, or an NFL offensive or defensive assistant, have to sift through all this and try and find those unique fits. I think it's a way of cataloging all of the data that they're already trying to use and just doing it in a more efficient way. And this seems to be certainly something that's been used across all sports. I think with a lot of people, the worry becomes anytime you see this level of technological specificity working its way into sports, does it make the game too homogenous? Does everything start to look the same? Is it like the NBA where we see teams chucking up threes at crazy rates, or we see baseball, making use of so many openers and closers, you don't get to see the aces for as long as you want. Everyone's trying to, swing for the fences. I don't know. I still think football's too interconnected and complicated a game for that to happen stylistically. But overall, I think this is about efficiency as much as anything else.
Would you be comfortable with your coach looking at this and AI says, run this play, and the coach going, yeah, that's it?
Yeah, I mean, I think, listen, knowing NFL coaches, unless, you get a full overhaul where it's like Major League Baseball managers, where they're kind of in most cases, the conduit for the front office and the plan that they have for a lot of these things that they've put through the ringer, I think most coaches are still a little bit too, well, I know my team, say, I know my car if it's running out of gas, and would overrule it eventually. But if I'm a player, I want what gives us the best chance to win. And if modeling in this way can make us a better football team, then I think that's always been my standpoint of, all right, we understand that as long as it's reflected in what we drill in practice, if we prepare for these scenarios that we think are going to be a part of our game plan, and it's something we have that earned confidence that comes with repetition to do, then yeah, I don't care who calls the play.
Mike Golic Jr. on tonight. FanDuel Sports Network is the show. Golic and Golic on FanDuel. Find him on X at Mike Golic Jr., college football analyst for TNT Sports. Let's get into the college football week one. I'll start with Ohio State, Michigan. I should say Ohio State, Texas. And this situation where, Fox Sports has teamed up with Barstool. Barstool is going to be at the college Big Noon kickoff, but maybe not Dave Portnoy. Was that a good thing for Fox Sports? Is this exactly what they want?
Yeah, I generally tend to believe that when you have conflicts, especially with the parties involved that you mentioned there, it's no such thing as bad publicity situation, and one that feels a bit like a work and feels like something meant to drive eyeballs towards a big week one kickoff for them. So I don't put too much stock into that. Media melodrama is something I'm happy to leave behind once we get to the actual games kicking off, but this certainly feels a little bit more orchestrated than it's probably getting credit for.
How do you think Texas-Ohio State goes? What do you see in this?
Man, I see a lot of really new parts. If I had to give some deference, I would say the team in Ohio State that's coming off a national championship, albeit with some very important pieces missing, that has the two best players on the field, more than likely. And that'll probably be the case all year long, and Jeremiah Smith on offense and Caleb Downs on defense. I'll give the tie to them on this and say I like their chances, especially at home. Arch Manning's a hell of a prospect, but hell, so is Julian Sain. He's a five-star. He's a highly heralded prospect that started his career at Alabama. And so I just think, for me, all those things, because both these teams, tons of key pieces missing on the offensive line, NFL players that departed to the next level. Ohio State's got to replace a running back room that had great guys. Texas is swapping their wide receiver room out again with guys that went to the National Football League after last year, the same way they did the year before. So these are two really good coaching staffs that have a lot of the same parts coming back and involved in this. Brian Hartline takes over an offense again that he manned the helm on before Chip Kelly got there. He's been grooming all those receivers. I think that experience in certain critical areas coming off the end of last year can be the edge for them.
Texas, Ohio State Saturday, but before that, Huskers get it going Thursday night, Mike, at Kansas City, Arrowhead Stadium. Are you surprised by some of the national college football guys that have put the Huskers in their college football playoff? I've seen that.
A little bit. I don't know if I'm quite ready to make that leap with them. We talked to Matt Rule on the show today, though, who is super high on the returning leadership on their team, some of the changes that they're making defensively, and I think his quarterback, Dylan Raiola, who he talked about as not just, a player's ability on the field, but a guy that's really embraced that leadership role. He said he held team-only meetings, players-only meetings that even Matt Rule didn't about. So he's that invested in that, I think, in tune with the locker room right now. And to have a guy that, took his lumps in certain areas last year, but got so much meaningful experience in the season that Nebraska was able to have, I think that goes a long way. And we're seeing across college football right now, there's a lot of veteran signal callers making their way back. And in this day and age, that's fine by change. I think that continuity always helps.
You have a Notre Dame podcast. You're a Notre Dame guy. How's the Notre Dame-Miami matchup Sunday?
That one, to me, is going to tell us a lot about what the value of a quarterback alone can do. Because on paper, roster-wise, experience-wise, continuity-wise, Notre Dame should win this game. They are as deep a team of talented players as I've ever seen in South Bend. The majority of them, especially the young ones, got huge experience in pivotal games down the home stretch of last season to the end of the regular season, through a playoff run where so many people were forced up, especially on defense by injury, and got to be a part of big-time wins that the program had really been without for a while against Penn State, against Georgia, getting to that national championship game. That I look and say, all right, if you've got that on both sides of the ball, you've got the best running back in the sport and an offensive line that, unlike last year, is now full of experience across the board in addition to being blue-chip prospects. Yeah, I mean, having a rookie quarterback in there certainly isn't the best idea, but he should be able to lean on that group. And so can the rest of that roster go out and do what it's supposed to do against a team where, yeah, you get a quarterback that comes over that didn't have the best year last year, but we've seen have experience at this level, playing big-time games himself. Can he come in and help microwave success on a Miami team that has portal wide receivers they're expecting to set up a basically entirely portal secondary on a defense with a new coordinator that needs to improve drastically after last year? It's so much newness that in a big-time matchup like this in week one, where no one's yet been on the field against an opposing jersey, I do have to think the edge lies with the Notre Dame team that brings together so many guys that have already worked together in these kind of environments.
Golic and Golic is the show. They had Matt Rule today, FanDuel Sports Network. Find him on X at Mike Golic Jr., and he'll be calling games this season. Mike, always good. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for having me, Nate.
Appreciate you coming on. Mike Golic Jr. on South Dakota Sports Talk Show, getting us started. College football week one, some great games. Really good stuff. Thursday night, Huskers, Cincinnati. You got Friday, the Buffs. CU with the new look. Deion's back. Prime's back. No Shedeur, no Travis Hunter. The Buffs taking on Georgia Tech. Man, you got Ohio State, Texas on Saturday. Notre Dame, Miami Sunday. Look out. Look out. The Jacks, Sacramento State. How about that for an FCS top 15 matchup? And I got the athletic director for South Dakota State on next. We'll go to Brookings, check in on the Jacks 2025 athletic season with Justin Sell. Some questions for Justin on the way.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
It's time for an upgrade, and don't spend a dime for 2 years. That's right, 0 zip zilch, with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 24 months. That's August 2027. Say goodbye to drafts and outdated design, and hello to our acclaimed replacement windows and our stunning ensemble entry doors. Get energy-efficient windows and doors and beautiful upgrades with zero regrets. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place? It's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait? There's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute, and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside. You don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
Just the sound of a legendary Brunswick pool table. It's the sound of families about to make memories together. And while this may sound like the hum of a spa, listen closely, and you'll hear backyard fun for years to come. So while Splash City's guarantee of quality sure sounds good, we know quality time sounds even better.
Who wants another burger?
Splash City, 1024 West Omaha, across from Connects in Rapid City.
In the past, if you needed auto body repair, you had to get multiple estimates and then try to get your car into a shop for repair. Well, not anymore. In most cases, you can stop by one shop, get your estimate, and schedule your car for a repair. The question now becomes which shop you choose. If you like quality, choose J&J Truck and Auto Body. They have ASE, PPG, and Gold iCar certifications that allow them to offer you a nationwide warranty. And they'll work with your insurance company so you're pleased with the outcome. J&J Truck and Auto Body, 1513 East Philadelphia.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk show.
Welcome back in across South Dakota on Fox Sports Radio. Appreciate our affiliates. The Nate Brown Show is live. And also on X right now, streaming. You can watch the show on X at Nate Brown Show. Follow us and watch us live there at Nate Brown Show. Also, appreciate our new partnership with Midwest Sports Plus. Midwest Sports Plus streaming the show live now. The new high school sports streaming app. You can get it, Midwest Sports Plus. Appreciate that. Packed show tonight. Mike Golick Jr. kicked us off talking college football. Brian Noah is in tonight from Fox Sports Radio, live from Las Vegas, talking NFL. We'll go high school later on, next hour. Let's go college. The Jacks home opener, ready to roll Saturday, Sacramento State. The new chapter of Jacks football underway with head coach Dan Jackson and the guy who hired him, Justin Sell, athletic director for the Jackrabbits, on the Pizza Ranch studio hotline. Justin, good to have you. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you, Nate?
I'm doing good, man. I appreciate your time on a busy week. What's it feel like in Brookings? Kids are back. Week 1, football. What's it feel like?
Yeah, I mean, this place is hopping with excitement. Got a big concert with Jacks Bass 3 here on Thursday night, and obviously a home opener on Saturday. So it's a good time to be a Jackrabbit.
Okay, how's your expectations of the fans, the support? This has been something I've talked to you about. It's really grown. How do you feel going into 2025 in this environment? New coaching staff, the Jackrabbit following, and the fans this season?
Yeah, I mean, our fans, obviously, it's continued to grow over the years. I think it's been neat to see a wider range, and certainly some younger folks with families in every event, every venue, supporting each of our teams. And so I expected nothing less than that. They trust what we're doing. And then, you know, I think the turnover and some of the change we had, certainly with the head football coach and head men's basketball coach, galvanized our fan base. They're excited to support us and make sure we keep this thing rolling. So when you look at ticket sales, season ticket sales were way up this year. And then when you look at that ripple, we have 7 home games this year. And if you go on and try to get a ticket, even for the games in November, we're down to a couple thousand seats left is all. So we're going to set some attendance records, and the Dana J. Dykhouse Stadium is going to be rocking.
Okay, I saw this headline that South Dakota State students can get in for free if they request a ticket at all home athletic events. Why'd you go down that road?
I mean, our students have always had access to all of our athletic events, and you know, a lot of things we're trying to do is obviously continue to connect with them. We got them involved in the design process for First Bank and Trust Arena, and so we work with them on how do we get them more organized, how do we get them excited to come to a game. Sometimes there's games that lend themselves to bring a friend, but the student engagement's critical, and that south end of the stadium, when it is full with those students, which has been the last couple of years, it makes a difference in regards to home field advantage. And so all of us that's why we're here. That's what we do. We hold about a third of the student population could actually get in the stadium, which is a significant amount, about 4,000 tickets, and there's 12,000 kids here. So students have always been important, and we'll continue to do things to get them to get here.
Justin Sell on tonight. South Dakota State Athletic Director. Jackrabbit football opens up against Sacramento State. Let's talk about your expectations of this football team and the new coaching staff, Dan Jackson. What's your expectations?
My expectations are always rooted in doing the things that we've done over the last decade that have continued to build the base to maintain and create excellence and success. And that's investing in others. That's being proud to be part of something bigger than ourselves. That's being passionate about what we do and the experiences that our student athletes can have. And obviously getting the fans engaged. And, you know, if we do all those things and this team finds that connectiveness, you know, the only difference really for this year's group is we had the last couple of years where a lot of guys played 30, 40, and 50 games together. And this group has all of those intangibles that get along really well, but we have to be patient and let that evolve as this season rolls on. If we find that early, I think we're going to love the results. But I think if we concentrate on those things that we do and do really well, we don't have to chase something. We don't have to be something different. If we do that, I think the wins and losses are going to take care of themselves, and I think we'll like where we'll be at the end of the season.
Justin, Sacramento State's been in the headlines this year trying to get to FBS. What's your perspective of Sacramento State? This team's a top 15 ranked team in FCS, new coach, a bunch of new players. What's your perspective of Sac State football?
Yeah, I mean, they've had success in recent years. We went out and played them in the playoffs. They've got, really good support. They're trying to do big things. I respect the fact that for their institution, each of us has to do other things we think we need to help our universities grow and then to create success in programs. And so they're certainly doing that. Obviously, just like us, there's so much new to it. So there's not a lot to go from watching film and kind of knowing what they're going to be. They have talent. They've obviously got a lot of FBS transfers. And so, we expect they're going to come in here, and they've got something to prove just as we do. And I think it's an amazing first game of the season for FCS football, let alone for our fans here. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what takes place here on Saturday.
Justin Sell joining us tonight from Brookings, Athletic Director. South Dakota State Jackrabbit football underway on Saturday against Sacramento State. I had Wyoming's Athletic Director on this show last week, Tom Berman, and I've known Tom over the years. He talked about FBS and FCS, and it's been a hot topic. He mentioned there could be a future in the long run where the Wyomings of the world end up with the Dakotas, the Montana schools. Do you think that?
I don't know. First off, I really respect Tom. I respect Wyoming, obviously being in this part of the country and how we run our programs and the things we do, the types of students that we have, the types of universities that we are. There's a lot of similarities. So, I have a great deal of respect for him and his thoughts and opinions on where this is going. I think it's really hard to project. I think all of us understand there is going to be change. What's the tipping point and kind of the timing of what that change is and what's it look like? And so my job right now is to make sure we're continuing to win games on the field and to build the brand. This last week we announced the Las Vegas kickoff in 2029 with Montana, and to think that we've built our brand, I would think if you asked us probably 10 years ago, I'm not sure we would have been in that position, but our brand was good enough for ESPN to want to showcase kind of the top four programs in FCS here over the last handful of years. And if we keep working on those things and we keep positioning ourselves, selling out our stadium, and having a chance to win championships, whatever happens here in the next iteration, we'll get grouped with the right schools, the like schools, and our industry, my only comment is we really do have to focus on good competition. That's what makes college athletics go. That's what makes really any level of sport. You have to have good competition. You have to have some worthy rivals. Those are things that challenge you and continue to make you better. So I love being in the Valley. Our current setup is outstanding. We've got excellent teams across the board, and those are the things that will prepare us. If that's where it is in 4 or 5 years, we're great with that. And if we have a chance or things get jumbled up a little bit or there's some realignment, we're going to make sure we're in a spot that we can compete with like teams.
I want to ask you, when you're looking far out, you're trying to schedule games. How does that look for South Dakota State football to get big money games? Has it been hard?
I think the answer to that is yes. We were fortunate that here in the last 4 or 5 years being able to we originally had Nebraska scheduled in 24, and they ended up going over to Ireland, so we picked up Oklahoma State last fall. And then when you walk through with Northwestern, Iowa State, Nebraska in 28, now the Vegas kickoff in 29, Nebraska in 30, we're pretty well set up here for the next 5 or 6 years. Now, trying to get conversations going and seeing where this is after 2030, that's a little bit of a challenge. And I would say we haven't been able to have a lot of conversations in regards to what that looks like beyond that. And then you got the 12-game schedule coming. So, the opportunity for us, we've got 7 home games this year, and how do we continue to try to build that mix, which is great for our fans, but it also gives you a great chance to compete and make runs in the playoffs. So, we've got to stay on top of scheduling. It's certainly changed. With success does come more challenges. We faced it in men's basketball over the last 5 or 6 years as well. So we're used to it, but we'll keep digging at it. I think there's still going to be teams that want to play.
I do want to ask you, you guys opted in to this NCAA house settlement deal, and you waited on that. You looked at it. How has that come together, this revenue-sharing model? Is this something that South Dakota State's going to have a challenge with when it comes to revenue sharing with athletes? How does that look?
No, I think actually, first off, the ability to obviously grandfather certain student athletes in the sports where we had designated student athletes where the rosters will start to shrink over time. That was really important. And then everything else wasn't super different, but the ability to utilize some either different funding sources, different mechanics, how does NIL kind of work in that? I think we're in a really good position. Our fans over the years have supported everything we do. I mean, we've had record revenues 10 years in a row across the board in ticket sales and fundraising and our auction and our corporate sponsorship. So we've continued to be able to grow. I think there will be additional areas for us to be able to put some sales pitches together that are going to help us keep and develop our student athletes in terms of building rosters. And then when you got to go out and find somebody to fill in a hole, we're going to be in position to be able to do that too. So there's a lot of education. This year is going to be probably a little bit of trial and error in regards to where this goes and how you use it as a business, and then how's it going to continue to change. So, we're in the middle of it, but it's gone really well so far in the first couple months.
South Dakota State Athletic Director Justin Sell, he's got a lot of sports, a lot of success there at SDSU. Last one I'll let you run, Justin. Big opener for Dan Jackson. How do you think he's handling the pressure, the first game? How is Dan's personality heading in?
Yeah, he's been even better than advertised. I think his ability to handle chaos and do it very comfortably and make the guys around him, including the new coaches that we have, I feel very confident in the work that we're doing and the plan that we have going into it. I mean, look, this week's been difficult because we started putting field cover on the turf Saturday. So they've been practicing in indoor. They haven't had their own stadium. And all Dan has said is, hey, what can we do to help? How can we be good teammates? And he hasn't even worried about that. And I don't know many football coaches that would handle it in that fashion. And I think that then plays and is reflected in the student athletes. They aren't worried about it either. And so I think he's handled it an amazing way. And for me personally, with him being a former Jackrabbit, having worked with him for 7 years before he came back, to see him be able to run out on that field on Saturday is going to be a really meaningful experience.
We're looking forward to it. Jackrabbit football ready to go. Justin Sell, the AD, South Dakota State, a glimpse into 2025 athletic season. Justin, always appreciate you coming on. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, I appreciate you too. Thanks, Nate.
Appreciate your time. Justin Sell on South Dakota Sports Talk Show on Fox Sports Radio across the state, talking Jacks and the football season starting Saturday against Sacramento State. The Dan Jackson debut. 60 new players at South Dakota State football. Sacramento State Saturday. Good stuff from Justin Sell. Hey, by the way, let's get into this. So, does Sacramento State have a shot to beat the Jacks, or do the Yotes have a shot to beat Iowa State? Which would get your vote? Upset of the weekend. Which has a better chance? Yotes over Iowa State or Sacramento State over South Dakota State? Tough question. Tough question. We'll look at the answers next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
It's time for an upgrade, and don't spend a dime for 2 years. That's right, 0 zip zilch, with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 24 months. That's August 2027. Say goodbye to drafts and outdated design, and hello to our acclaimed replacement windows and our stunning ensemble entry doors. Get energy-efficient windows and doors and beautiful upgrades with zero regrets. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place that's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps 1 minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I see new models of stand-up and teardrop campers on your lot.
Yes, you do. We're proud to feature the new SGC Armor line of campers from Bontrager Outdoors. Bang for the buck, there's just nothing out there like these new super cool Armor campers and Bontrager teardrops.
And the suspension these campers have? Wow, so impressive.
All our campers come standard with the off-road package. Bontrager and Armor just ramped boondocking up another notch. And right now, you'll get the best price all year on these 2026 ultra-light, ultra-beefy, option-loaded campers and teardrops.
You gotta check out these new look campers, people. The new designs are fantastic, and so many options for their size.
And so many options for towing. No need for a diesel or a big truck. These only weigh around 1,500 to 2,000 pounds, so they can be towed by almost any rig.
Check out these new 2026 Bontrager and SGC Armor campers, everyone. See AnytimeAnytime.com, and as always at the corner of Highway 79 and East Minnesota.
Anytime Auto yourself.
This is The Nate Brown Show, also streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe to The Nate Brown Show on YouTube.
Hey, thanks for being here. The Nate Brown Show is on Fox Sports Radio, South Dakota Sports Talk Show live, also on X right now streaming at Nate Brown Show. Follow the show, watch us live, interact with us on Twitter. We check it there at Nate Brown Show throughout the show. Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline always open, 605-720-1067. That's the studio hotline. Same number on the Barron's Wilson text line. Text the show, 605-720-1067. Be a part of the conversation that way. Hey, so are we going to see any upsets this weekend? I threw out a question of the day on the social media fan page, at Nate Brown Show. I threw out a question of the day. Who has the better chance for the upset this week? Sacramento State over the Jacks. We just talked to AD for the Jacks, Justin Sell, moments ago. If you missed that, good stuff from Justin Sell on this 2025 fall sports season where South Dakota State's at 10 years now, record revenue for the Jacks. Justin Sell moments ago. Check the podcast. We'll have it up after the show tonight. But does Sacramento State have a shot? What are they ranked? 14th? They got this new coach, the OC from UNLV. He brought in a bunch of players. Well, the Jacks had to bring in players too, 60 new players for the Jacks. So I don't know what we are going to see Saturday with South Dakota State, Sacramento State. I have no clue. Both teams very new. Or how about the Yotes over Iowa State? Now that's a big ask. South Dakota has Aiden Bauman. They've got some guys. They got to go to Iowa State. That is a big ask right there of South Dakota after Iowa State just beat Kansas State. So I'm gonna say Iowa State is a really, really tough game. That's a really tough game. So I hate to say it. If you had to pick one, Sacramento State over the Jacks. I don't see it. By the way, I don't see it. But that would be the better chance. Let's see what Social Media Warriors said on this. 51% of our audience voted best chance for the upset this weekend at Sac State over the Jacks. 51%. 49% said the Yotes could take down Iowa State. I love you, Yote. I love the passion. I like the passion. That's a tough one there. How about Montana State over Oregon? How about Montana State, speaking of FCS, over Oregon? That came in on the text line. No, I don't see that. Here's one. What about Cincinnati over the Huskers? That could happen. Listener text said that would set Lincoln on fire. That would set Lincoln, Nebraska on fire. Well, that's not out of the question. I see the Huskers winning that. They get a lot of hype right now. So I see the Huskers winning that. But Cincinnati's a program. Like it's not that's not any just gimme there at all. So that's not an easy one for the Huskers at Arrowhead Stadium coming up this weekend. But I'm going to say best chance for the upset, even out of all of those, probably Cincy over the Huskers. That's the Matt Kearney special. He's nodding his head that Cincinnati could take down the Huskers. I'm not going to go there, but that's the best chance. I see the Jacks winning over Sac State, but that's going to be intriguing Saturday. Brand new teams, new coaches. We have no clue about Sacramento State. Can they come together at all, or is it going to be me, all these new transfers? I think South Dakota State has the foundation, the program, the tree, Dan Jackson, his staff. I'm going to give that one to South Dakota State. I think the Yotes are in big trouble with Iowa State. I mean, Iowa State's like a Big 12 contender. We saw what Oklahoma State did to the Jacks last year. That was a good Jacks team, by the way. You saw what Oklahoma State did, and Oklahoma State wasn't that good. So that's a tough one for USD coming up this weekend at Iowa State. Really, really tough. I don't expect the Yotes to hang around close in that one. I don't expect it. Into the second hour on a Tuesday, I've got two things for you. One is, does Fox Sports know what they're doing by launching this new edition for college football? They've got the big noon kickoff Saturday. Ohio State, Texas. Huge game Saturday. Fox Sports is adding to their college football coverage. Did they know what they were doing with this one? I'll get into it. Plus, we got a lot to discuss. Youth sports parents like me. There's a new survey out. How much time do you spend every day on your child's youth sports? You're thinking, huh? New survey out coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
Hunting season's just around the corner. Time to gear up with the best names in the business at prices that will not be beat. Like a Wildview 16-megapixel trail cam for just $34.99. The Big Game 16-foot Warrior Pro tree stand is on sale for $149.99. And take aim and comfort with a Hawk Big Denali luxury blind chair for just $134.99. Stop in for these hunting specials and more at your local Fleet Farm. And check out all our weekly deals at fleetfarm.com.
School's starting soon, but summer's not over yet. Keep grilling those burgers and hot dogs, but don't toss that empty bun bag. With Loaves for Learning, every UPC from Village Hearth bun packages is worth 5 cents for your school. Earn up to $10,000 this year just by eating what you love. Grill now, give back later with Village Hearth and Loaves for Learning.
Start your adventure in a sport utility at Danny Emanuel Rushmore Honda. Get great offers on nearly 70 late model SUVs, imports, and domestics. Makes like Ford, Toyota, GMC, Chevy, Subaru, Jeep, and more. Plus, we have the area's best selection of pre-owned Honda and Honda certified pre-owned. Save big with 0.99% APR on select certified pre-owned. Your sport utility is here at Danny Emanuel Rushmore Honda or RushmoreHonda.com. Length of finance contract is limited with qualified credit, expires 9/2/25.
We all know life's busy, and if you get sick, you can get behind pretty quick. That's where Black Hills Urgent Care comes in. No appointments needed, no long waits, just fast, affordable care to get you feeling better quicker. Black Hills Urgent Care has 2 locations in Rapid City on Haynes Avenue and Mountain View Road. You can simply check in online at bhucare.com. That's with the letter U, bhucare.com. When you need care, see the team at Black Hills Urgent Care, the faster way to get better.
Hi, this is David Brenneman with Coldwell Banker Black Hills Legacy in Rapid City. Have you thought about buying a home or real estate in the Black Hills? Maybe you want to upgrade to your forever home? I have been helping people in the Black Hills find the right home for nearly 20 years. When it comes to buying or selling, experience matters. Let me do the work and you can open the door to your new home. Say hello to a good buy with me, David Brenneman. To get started, just Google David Brenneman, Coldwell Banker.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
Hi, Mom. What are you wearing? Oh, this is my around the house in summer outfit. You like it? Mom, it's a garbage bag that you put your legs and arms through. Yeah, and then I fill it with ice. Okay, why? Well, this house gets so darn hot in the summer, and walking around in my Starkers just wasn't working for me anymore. So you made an ice chest dress? Well, at least I'm comfortable now. Mom, why don't you just call Renewal by Anderson? Oh, is that a new tailor? No, Renewal by Anderson makes custom fit windows tailored for any house. I don't know. I'm growing kind of fond of the old ice chest dress. No, really, they do a free home consultation. Then replace your old drafty windows with brand new ones. I do wish these garbage bags were stronger. I reach for the TV remote and ice goes all over the living room floor. Okay, Mom, call Renewal by Anderson. Oh, I will. Now, would you like a cold drink? I got plenty of ice. I don't think so.
Visit RBARapidCity.com today for a free consultation. Lower your heating and cooling bills with windows from Renewal by Anderson of Rapid City. RBARapidCity.com.
This is the Nate Brown Show. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, here we are, South Dakota Sports Talk Show on a Tuesday. Big week this week. College football, high school football, the good stuff. We got you covered tonight. The Nate Brown Show is on Fox Sports Radio. Glad you're here. Text us on the text line 605-720-1067. That's your text line, the Barron's Wilson listener text line. Second hour looks good. Matt McIntosh is going to join us tonight. We'll check in with our high school football programs around the state. We've done a lot of East River, West River. We'll go to Rapid City. Rapid City Christian, Matt McIntosh, the head coach for the Comets, a program that I started talking about quite a while ago. They were 9-man not so long ago. You remember this? I mean, they were 9-man. And they weren't on anybody's radar. Started growing. Athletics has been that front porch there. I believe that. And they've really advanced when it comes to football, basketball, the whole thing. They got a program going. And then Rapid City Christian's now been a mainstay in the playoffs. So their 11A season gets underway. They take on Canton this week. Matt McIntosh, head coach. What's it look like for Rapid City Christian this year? Lost some talent, big-time QB. We'll talk to him coming up. We'll go to the NFL. It was cut down day today. Everybody getting cut across the board. We'll get into a lot of stuff with Brian Noe. He hosts Countdown here on Fox Sports Radio. Going to try and do every Tuesday with the Noe Show. Brian Noe, live from Las Vegas, one of our favorites. He is straight ahead. Okay, let's get into this. So I'm looking forward to the week. Some huge games this week. I'm dialed in. Huskers, Cincinnati, Thursday, and on from there. You got Texas, Ohio State, Saturday on Fox. Big noon kickoff. I went to the Big Noon Kickoff show last year, so I'll give you a little background. I went to the Big Noon Kickoff show. They were at Colorado when I went down there to watch the Buffs take on Utah. It was good stuff. It's like game day, so I've been to game day. I've been to Big Noon Kickoff, the competitors. And so Fox is trying to get some chunks here of the game day audience. And Big Noon Kickoff is if you just ask the common sports fan, hey, what do you know about college football? They're going to know game day. It's been a long history with Lee Corso, Kirk Herbstreit, Chris Fowler, the whole thing. Big Noon Kickoff's trying to get in this, and they're in it. They've got Urban Meyer, and they got all these, Brady Quinn, they got big names. Well, they're trying to add to their crowd, and so Big Noon Kickoff has added Barstool Sports, Dave Portnoy to their crew. And so, if you know Barstool Sports, you guys, you know that they're edgy. They've made a name for themselves, especially on the digital side. I mean, it's just massive. The Barstool Sports crowd is loyal. They love their Barstool Sports guys. So, Big Noon Kickoff, Fox Sports is taking a bet that they think they bring in the Barstool crowd with Dave Portnoy, and they're going to start chipping away here and just bringing in new audience. That's what this is all about. So they wanted to do that for Texas, Ohio State. Well, supposedly, we got a controversy. Dave Portnoy is a big Michigan supporter. So if you've followed him at all, he is obnoxious with Michigan. I mean, he is obnoxious. And, of course, Michigan and Ohio State, we all know the story there. So here's the reporting this week. Ohio State athletic director allegedly banned Dave Portnoy from being on the Big Noon Kickoff set inside Ohio Stadium this weekend. Well, then Dave Portnoy said, oh, this is ridiculous. We had our plans. We were coming there. We're going to do the whole thing. I can't get in the stadium because of my Michigan fandom. Well, now Ohio State has denied today that it banned Barstool Sports founder Dave Portnoy. They said it was Fox Sports who said, hey, he's not part of our main desk, like our main show. He's a contributor, but he's not part of our main show, so it's okay. We don't have to have him inside the stadium when we take our crew inside. I don't know where the truth is at. I just know this. Fox Sports knows what they're doing when they get into the Barstool Sports business. I think it's okay. You can agree, disagree with Dave Portnoy. You can like him, dislike him. You know the name of the game is entertainment. That's what it is. Football's the vehicle, but it's entertainment. College Game Day did the same story with Pat McAfee, so it's the same type of deal. If Ohio State banned Dave Portnoy, I'm sitting here going, that's a little iffy. That's a little iffy. But Fox Sports knows When you bring in the Barstool Sports aspect, you're going to possibly have some pushback. There's been companies, there's been people like this that have said, we don't want anything to do with Barstool. So where's it going to end up? Fox Sports maybe negotiated and said, hey, it's okay, Dave, just sit this one out. So Dave Portnoy may not be in Ohio Stadium, part of the Fox Sports Big Noon Kickoff. They just have to realize, Fox Sports, you're going to have this a little bit at Ohio State. Did they really step in and ban Dave Portnoy from Ohio Stadium? If they did, that's a little sketchy to me. By the way, let me touch on this. So here's how my days go a little bit. Me and my wife, we rotate who goes out to practice at youth sports and who picks up the kid and stuff like that. Like many of you. I'm talking to you youth sports parents, or if you've been in this game before. Well, I have a new survey out from parents that have kids in youth sports. And I asked this question going into the break. Being a sports parent, how much time do you think it takes a day when your kid has an actual event, practice, or a game? How much time have you stepped back and looked? How much time do you spend doing everything? Driving, food prep, laundry, getting their uniforms ready, communicating with other people, with each other. How much time do parents spend on a daily basis when their kid has a sports event? That's my question I threw out. We got a guess here that came in on the text line, 605-720-1067 on the Nate Brown Show. This guy said he was a coach. He said, when I was coaching, I spent 3 to 5 hours a day. Now as a parent, 30 minutes to an hour. 30 minutes to an hour. So what do you think parents responded to on this? Being a sports parent, average time spent, and they went through all of the stuff that they do, average daily time, 3 hours, 23 minutes. 3 hours, 23 minutes. So let me hang on a second. I didn't realize I was in on this. I'm a youth sports coach myself. Now, I could go down that road on those days, when I have practice and stuff, practice plans and the time and going there and stay, the whole thing. But an average parent, your son or daughter's in a sport today, they have practice, they have a game, 3 hours, 23 minutes. Here's how they put that together. There's like a half an hour driving on average, 20 minutes doing the food thing, over an hour attending the practice or game, about an hour of communicating back and forth with the kid, the parent, the coaches, excuse me, and then 30 minutes getting the equipment and the laundry and making sure everything's clean. By the way, we just had another listener text. You guys are smart, man. I had a listener text. It's got to be between 3 and 4 hours. I can't believe that. I cannot believe that. And now I've decided where my life has gone. Where's life? Life goes fast. What do they say? The days are long, the years are short. Well, apparently the days are long. Really, really long. 3 hours and 23 minutes. Listener text. I think the bigger question should be how much quality time are you spending with your kid every day when you're running around to the activities? Very interesting. Well, by the way, I have nice quality time with my daughter going to school, and then I do this show here. So I miss a lot of stuff after school, some games and stuff like that. And then I try and pick her up after practice and try and spend a little quality time there. So the car time can be quality time, right? The car time can be quality time, but interesting. Between 3 and 4 hours was the guess, and you hit it out of the park. That is amazing to me. That's amazing. 3 hours and 23 minutes was the average answer from parents who have a kid in youth sports. And then they didn't ask him how much money. That's another story for another day. We'll save that. We don't want to depress you all at one time. Brian Noah is on next. Tuesday with Brian Noe talking NFL and more. We'll talk some ball with the Fox Sports Radio national host, a great guest coming up.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
It's time for an upgrade, and don't spend a dime for 2 years. That's right, 0 zip zilch, with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 24 months. That's August 2027. Say goodbye to drafts and outdated design, and hello to our acclaimed replacement windows and our stunning ensemble entry doors. Get energy-efficient windows and doors and beautiful upgrades with zero regrets. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place? It's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait? There's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps 1 minute, and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
Firehouse Skybox. We are Rapid City's premier sports bar with everything you want for the best game watching experience. Bring your crew and take in the action while enjoying our Firehouse craft beers, specialty cocktails, and a great menu of Firehouse burgers, nachos, and more. We have every game, every night on our 35 big screens, and there's not a bad seat in the house. Come and watch your favorite team at the number one place for sports, the Skybox, right above the Firehouse, Main Street, downtown Rapid City.
Being in business has its rewards as well as its challenges. It means being the first one in the door in the morning and turning off the lights when you leave at night. Your business is unique, and you need a bank that understands your needs. You deserve the best. You need a financial partner that is invested in your success. You need Pioneer Bank and Trust. Don't settle. Pioneer. Pioneer Bank and Trust. Local.
Pioneer Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Live callers, big-time interviews, and breaking sports news. This is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
Welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show is on Fox Sports Radio, South Dakota Sports Talk Show across the state. Glad you're here. Thanks for making this show possible. Question of the day: is Taylor Swift getting engaged to Travis Kelce a sports story? I never thought I'd have to do that. I have to do it. I want to see what South Dakota thinks. That's what we do. Thought-provoking sports talk here. Is it a sports story? It's been the number one headline on all the sports websites all day. Not here on this program. Let's go to Brian Noe, the pop culture expert. He is the host of Countdown on Fox Sports Radio. Brian Noe, welcome in. How are you, man?
I'm good, Nate Brown. I'd love to weigh in on this. It is absolutely a sports story, This is one of the biggest names in the NFL, marrying Taylor Swift. Like you said, it's going to be on all the sports websites. You can flip it around, too, and say, is Taylor Swift getting engaged a music story? It's like, well, obviously it is. So it's got to be a sports story as well, right?
Very interesting. I think it's an embarrassing sports story. It's an embarrassing. The sports media is going to cover this. I said, hey, I'm not a hater, Brian. I'm not a hater at all. I'm not. I don't yell at my TV when they show her on the games at all. I haven't done that. But I do not necessarily think we got to get into an engagement talk on sports websites and all of that stuff. That's why I say we don't talk about anybody else when they get engaged.
Yeah, that's true, but man, you talk about a power freaking couple over here, Nate Brown. Love in their eyes. I love it, and hopefully they have a lot of happiness together. But I say it's a sports and a music story right there. You don't have to go in depth, but for sure, it's definitely both of those things.
All right, so we won't go in depth. Thanks for that. I appreciate it. We won't go in depth. Now, I do want to get into this. Speaking of 2025, AI is taking over a lot of things, and they're in a lot of businesses. Now, I talk ball a lot with you, so let's go to this. The NFL has a partnership with Microsoft. Microsoft released this last week that they're expanding their partnership, and they're going to get at all sorts of stuff now with AI. Down and distance, filtering every play, giving options for what plays could be called, the success rates, and all of that stuff. So this is AI in the NFL. Would you want your coach saying, hey, let's dial it up. What does AI tell me to run here on 4th and 1?
Listen, I think there's, more information is not always bad. I just think that football is somewhere in between, analytics and total gut feel, right? Like it's somewhere in between. I think both are useful. I don't think it's just numbers. I don't think it's just gut. I think it's a combination of both. And, if you get all this information about what are the best possible plays to run on 4th and 1, that's great. More information I think is good, but I wouldn't be beholden to just that information because, factoring in like real football instincts absolutely matters. And, hey, maybe AI tells you one thing, but AI doesn't take into account that the right guard has got a bum knee, and that one play that AI suggests is probably not the best play to run, right? So I think it's a combination of both, but it's gotten to a point, Nate, where it's like you're either all in with analytics and AI, or you're all out. And I think that's just dumb. I think that there are things to gather from both sides of it, and I think being somewhere in the middle is probably the best approach when it comes to AI and non-AI or analytics and non-analytics.
Very interesting. Look at Brian Noe being all middle of the road. I mean, just thought-provoking and down the middle on this. Fox Sports Radio's national host of Countdown. So do you think AI eventually will make its way really heavily into, should we call this play? Do you think that's actually going to happen?
I think that I don't think it's going to be huge because you only have so much time to come up with something. So, like the play caller, the second down play just happened. It's 3rd and 4. Boom, what are we calling? You really don't have a ton of time. A lot of these play callers are on the sideline. Are they going to have computer screens in front of them? Like, hold on, let me get a detailed read on, okay, this, you know what I mean? You've got to have a lot of that stuff down cold before the game. And, hey, listen, maybe you do your research and you have that in the back of your head, but in real-time AI to help you with your play calling, if that's what you're leaning on, there's just not a ton of time to rely on it. So the timing aspect of it, I don't know how much play callers would lean on it. I think it could be useful before the game and whittle down a couple of plays that you like down and distance-wise that you have in your back pocket. But there's just not a lot of time to, okay, let me see. Okay, you suggest this on 3rd and 4. You don't have time for that stuff. So I think it's going to be a slow integration into the NFL for play callers because you just don't have time to just get this information on the fly. There's no time for that.
Microsoft has had a partnership with the NFL. They're expanding it and putting in a lot of stuff when it comes to filtering plays and down and distance and deciphering defenses. Interesting stuff. They just announced that last week. Okay, let's get to the NFL. Shedeur Sanders had a bad outing this last weekend. Bad outing. Now the Browns are getting rid of Kenny Pickett, so Shedeur's the third stringer. Are you still thinking we're going to see Shedeur Sanders play and start a game here sometime?
I'm going to say yes, Nate, because I think the Browns are going to have a decrepit record, and you've got to get the rookies on the field. Joe Flacco is clearly not your quarterback of the future. So Dylan Gabriel would be the next guy up, according to the depth chart right now. And if he's healthy and ready to go, and they're, 1-7 or whatever it is, and they're going to give Gabriel a shot, and then Shedeur would be the next guy up if Gabriel, falters or gets banged up. But I think it's likely. I really feel like one of the rookies is going to get starts. I think it's possible that Shedeur gets at least a start or a couple this year because Browns have 2 first-round picks. You got to get the rookies on the field, at least one of them, and see if you might have anything going forward. If you asked me to bet or told me to bet, Nate, I would say no problem. I will be happy to bet. I would bet that one of the rookies gets a handful of starts, and I would double down and take the long shot odds on Shedeur starting at least one game.
Here's where I'm at on the Shedeur Sanders phenomenon. He has entered the Tim Tebow stratosphere. Oh. You either love him. I mean, we're just going to go down. I'm a guy that supports him, and I feel like this. You either support him, I'm in with Shedeur, or no, he'll never be the guy. He will never make it. Tim Tebow polarizing fans like crazy and then haters like crazy. Is that fair?
It's totally fair, Nate. I'm with you. I think you're on the money on this one where we've gotten into the realm of all in or all out. And I think that is so dumb. It's so dumb because, okay, I'm rooting for Shedeur. I hope things work out for him. But at the same time, I'm going to be like, he's holding on to the ball way too long. It's not going to work in the NFL like that. That doesn't make me a hater. That doesn't mean I'm rooting against him. But if I put that on Twitter, all these people would be like, you hate Shedeur. We've gotten so dumb with this. It's so emotionally charged, and it's turning people into morons left and right, whether they're supporting Shedeur or whether they think he's not going to be anything. It's gotten so emotional that they think if I say something critical, I'm rooting against the guy. And that's just not the case whatsoever. I think that I'm not on sides on Shedeur's side or against Shedeur. My sides are correct and incorrect. Makes sense, doesn't make sense. I don't care where that lands after that, but I'm in the minority. Most people do not think like that, but if you support Shedeur, great, but you can't sit here and be like, he's the best quarterback on that team by far. It's like, no, he's not. Not right now he isn't. Joe Flacco, even at this stage, is light years in front of Shedeur Sanders. And hey, give it a little bit of time, Shedeur might pass him up. But as of right now, he's not the best quarterback on that team, and I just hate that it's gotten so personal for people where if it's a complimentary take, oh, you're just blind and you love Shedeur. If it's a critical take, oh, you're a hater, you hate the guy. It's like, no, man, you got to be reasonable on either side. Just don't be blinded by emotion and try to make sense. A lot of people are not in that way of thinking at all on this.
That's the last one I can think of, the Tim Tebow effect. It was very, very similar as I thought about that from an emotional standpoint. Brian Noe is in tonight, countdown host on Fox Sports Radio. You got college football, man. This is it. This is the real deal. Okay, I want to ask you about the big controversy. Fox Sports, Barstool Sports. Did Ohio State, do you believe they banned Dave Portnoy from Big Noon Kickoff in the stadium?
I have no idea what's going on. I swear every hour there's a new tweet out there where it's like, he's banned. No, he's not banned. He was banned. No, Ohio State said he wasn't. It's like, what is going on with this whole thing? I have no idea. I don't know if Ohio State initially said, oh, no, don't let him in there, and then backtracked. I have no idea what to believe on that, Nate.
If Ohio State did that, I say that is a little sketchy. A little sketchy if Ohio State did it. We shall see. By the way, game of the week for college football for you. Texas, Ohio State. That has to be, I guess, the game of the week. But there's Miami, Notre Dame. I know you're a Notre Dame guy. Which one do you want to see?
Well, you know my answer. If he only gave me one game to see, I would definitely watch my Irish. But you're right. Listen, number 1 at number 3, Texas at Ohio State is certainly the game of the week, but when you sprinkle in a little LSU Clemson, a little Irish on the road against Miami, like convicts and Catholics revamped, it's a great weekend. We finally get the stench of week 0 away from us, and now we got real games to look forward to. Week 1 is a beautiful thing.
Brian Noe in tonight, Fox Sports Radio. Hear him this weekend. He hosts Countdown. He is on X at the Noe Show. Brian, we're going to try and do like Tuesdays with Brian Noe. You didn't know that, but I just made that announcement. We might just try and do this, man. I appreciate you hopping on.
Man, I would love to, Nate, but I am booked solid. I'm kidding. I'll be there any day of the week you want, Nate. Let's go. It's time for ball.
Okay, I'll see. Let's see what works out for our guy. Brian Noe, one of our A-listers, one of our fan favorites. There he is, Fox Sports Radio. You hear him right here on Countdown every weekend on Fox Sports Radio. Brian Noe on the Nate Brown Show. We come right back into the high school sports side. High school football, now everybody gets to play, including Rapid City Christian taking on Canton. One of the games to watch, little West River meets East River. Head coach of the Comets is Matt McIntosh. He's going to have a new QB and more. Where's Rapid City Christian football at? Matt McIntosh coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number 1. So you can always be their number 1. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number 1 hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
It's time for an upgrade, and don't spend a dime for 2 years. That's right, 0 zip zilch, with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 24 months. That's August 2027. Say goodbye to drafts and outdated design, and hello to our acclaimed replacement windows and our stunning ensemble entry doors. Get energy-efficient windows and doors and beautiful upgrades with 0 regrets. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place that's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
to qualify. Then keep playing to rack up even more entries. Fridays and Saturdays, we're drawing winners from 8 to 11:30 p.m. for $300 prize packages with a $1,000 drawing at midnight. Then on Saturday, August 30th, 10 lucky winners will draw for grand prizes, and 4 will win a cruise and a seat in the $1 million Wheel of Fortune Spin and Win slot tournament at sea, Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort. How will your night play out?
Great news. I just got the State Farm Personal Price Plan on our home and auto insurance.
You told our agent about my thing for romance novels?
No, you don't have to get that personal. Our agent just helped me choose affordable options to create a personalized price just for us.
Oh, sweet. Then you won't believe the love triangle Jen is in now.
Contact me, State Farm agent Scott Carlson, to create your personal price plan today.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show, also streaming right now on X. Follow us and watch the show live at Nate Brown Show.
Welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show is on Fox Sports Radio. This hour driven by Summit Automotive Group. Take a look at SummitAutoGRP.com. When it comes to pre-owned in South Dakota, that's where you can start on your phone. Take a look. Great selection. SummitAutoGRP.com. Experience car buying built around you, from the right financing to the right treatment. Start at SummitAutoGRP.com. Our high school football previews continue. South Dakota Sports Talk Show across the state. We've done East River. We've done some West River. Hey, everybody's playing now this week. Let's go 11A. Let's go Rapid City Christian, a program I've talked about over the years, rising. They were in a spot where they weren't even hardly playing. I mean, they had 9-man football, and numbers were down. It was tough. And then they jumped into 11-man. It was tough at first. Now it's built into not just a team, but a contending program. So it's quite a story. Rapid City Christian head football coach is Matt McIntosh, and he's back on the Nate Brown Show tonight. Coach, thanks for hopping in. I appreciate it. How are you?
I'm doing well, Nate, and thanks for having me on.
Well, I appreciate you coming on. You're wrapping up practice. You were out of breath. What are you doing, running sprints with these guys? What's going on?
Yeah, we were just finishing up some conditioning here, so we're doing some 5-man sled drills, and usually I'm on the back of that thing riding it around, and I saw my phone ringing, so I was hustling over to get on the phone with you.
See all these requirements, media requirements when you're running a program. So I'll let you get wrapping this thing up, but I want to talk about your program. I just said the story. Now you've been there as Christian has built, and I credit you with being a part of this. But you go back a ways, Rapid City Christian football really not on the map. What do you think about as this program has developed and you've been a part of it?
Yeah, so I'm entering my 4th season here, and it's just amazing to see the growth that we've had here in the program and at the school. And it's for a lot of different reasons. I think during the COVID year, we really had an explosion of people coming in and the families bringing their kids here, and then those numbers have just continued even after COVID. Those things released and all those things were lifted. And ever since then, we've just had numbers, and that's a big part of building any successful program is having good numbers. And so this year we're blessed again. We've got 48 kids out for the program, and that's been pretty consistent for the last 4 years is 40-plus kids, and that's a big part of why we've having some success.
Okay, so what do you credit? You talk about maybe people getting there initially. How much has the winning and that culture helped build the numbers, winning on winning?
Yeah, I think it just makes it that much easier. I think when kids are winning, they're having fun, and when they're having fun, it's easier to recruit other kids. And, we've got such good kids here, and it's a small, tight-knit community out here, and so most of them play multiple sports, and so they're getting on their buddies that maybe just played basketball in prior years, that they're coming out. And so, you have success, and it gets easier, and you have more success because you got more numbers, and it just continues to build, and that's what we're looking to continue out here.
Matt McIntosh joining us talking Rapid City Christian football. This program's been on the rise. I saw it coming, but I was even surprised that you guys have competed deep into the playoffs. You haven't been able to get over the top. You've been in the semifinal. I mean, you've been there. What do you think is the difference to take this thing to the next level? Has it been physicality, getting beat up front? What do you see as the next step?
Yeah, I think the big differences that we see between those top teams and us is frequently the size. When you look at those programs like Sioux Falls Christian, Del Rapids, Canton even, I mean, they've just got a lot of big guys up front, 6'3", 6'4", 250 plus, and we just traditionally haven't had a lot of guys in that size. But as we've continued to build our program, we rely heavily on our Benson sports training program, and we've got 3 guys on the offensive line that are 250 plus this year. And so, we're starting to get there with building that, and it starts, those guys are juniors and seniors, and so it really starts when they're freshmen. They get into the program, they start weight training heavy, and then by the time they're juniors and seniors, they're big and strong. And that's really what it's going to take for us to get there. Is we always have skills players. We've got plenty of those guys, but it's the guys in the trenches up front that we have to continue to build. Okay, interesting. So one of the skill guys, Kiefer, at quarterback, he's a record setter. Not there. So you're a guy that's looking now, oh boy, losing a QB like that. What did you think about in the offseason? Yeah, he's a tough kid to replace. He was great at a lot of things. Fortunately, one of the things he was great at was leadership. And so the next guy up is a kid named Peyton Glenn. He's a junior this year, multi-sport athlete, really great basketball player. So he's got good hands, good feet. 6'3", 170, so he presents a little bit different of a skill set than Simon Kiefer. He's a hard runner. I think he's harder to bring down. The arm strength is there, and so I think he's still going to be able to get the ball down the field like we like. And I think what I'm excited about is with him in the running game, I think he's going to be a really good weapon for us this year. Okay, so does it kind of change the way you go when you had a quarterback there that did all the things Kiefer did and you guys were comfortable? Did you have to go kind of back to the drawing board? Hey, what's going to work now? Do you adjust your game plan this year? Yeah, I think so. I think every good coach knows you got to adjust based on your personnel. And so part of that is that we are going to focus on running the football a little more, smash mouth, get downhill and run the ball. Before we were able to really just spread people out and throw the ball around with Simon. And so this year we're going to do a little bit of that still, but we're really going to put a premium on running the football. Okay, I got to ask you about this home opener, and it's homecoming. I don't remember an opener early like this, and you throw it all into opener, homecoming. What do you think? Yeah, most coaches I think would agree that homecoming's just a distraction for players and coaches, and we don't really care for it. I know the kids have fun, and it just worked out schedule-wise from the administration standpoint. They wanted to be able to have it during a week when there was a home volleyball game and a home football game at the same time, and unfortunately it's the first week of the season, and so it's kind of good news, bad news. We get this distraction out of the way right away at the beginning. The bad news is we've got to play a really tough team against Canton, and we need every minute that we can. Okay, what do you think of Canton? This is a pretty good program over the years. I'm not sure what they bring to the table for this week. What do you see from Canton? Yeah, so I think that what we do know is the coach has been there a long time. They're probably not going to deviate from what they've done and what they've had success with, and that's really running the football. They line up with multiple tight ends. They have multiple wing backs, and they're gonna block down and kick out, and they're going to run the football. And I think no matter who they have there, they're going to continue to be able to do that. That's kind of what you see with these East River schools. They just consistently reload, and so I think with Canton, they lost some good players. They had a kid that went Division I last year. He's playing at USD, and so he's going to be a hard person to replace, but I don't think there's any doubt that they're going to be ready to play football. Sioux Falls Christian's ranked number 1 in the Power 5 poll. How do you see 11A playing out? Do you see some parity here, or is Sioux Falls Christian really, really good? I think they're really good. I talked to some coaches this summer who said that they thought that Sioux Falls Christian's probably got 5 or 6 guys just on the defense that can play college football, and so I think that's probably true. I think they may even have more than that, and so they've got a lot of depth. They got a lot of size. I think that what they're bringing back is good. They lost some great players. They have 4 offensive linemen that they're replacing this year, and that's a challenge. That's always tough, but they're always well coached and ready to go. And with their depth and size, I do think that they're the number 1 team in the state. Matt McIntosh on tonight. Couple more. I'll let him run. We're talking Rapid City Christian football. Getting a preview. They take on Canton. It's the home opener, and it's homecoming for the Comets this week. So are you guys underdogs, Coach?
I mean, I felt like you made these playoff runs. Everybody's like, well, Rapid City Christian's arrived, but now you lose some guys. Are you underdogs?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think if you were just to ask the general public, they'd probably say that. They don't know much about what we're bringing this year. And similarly, it's always hard in those first polls at the beginning of the season. Nobody knows what anybody looks like. And so I like the underdog mentality, and we kind of thrive on that. You know, we got bumped up to 11A last year, and we really use that as motivation. And I think that we're playing these three schools that are just sort of these powerhouses from 11A. And so, yeah, we look at it as an underdog, but we welcome that challenge, and we're looking forward to this first game.
Here's something that people may not know. I think your D coordinator's really good. I think the defensive side of the ball is schemed up good. I know you're on the offensive side. What about this defense this year?
Yeah, so, you know, we've had some turnover in the coaching world as well. So we graduated Aaron Marshall, his son Braylon graduated, and so Aaron has stepped away from coaching this year. And so that was another challenge in addition to losing a bunch of great players, is we lost a couple coaches. And so we've replaced him, but we're going to do the same things. And so the coaches that are here have been here for a few years with me and with Coach Marshall. And so we're going to pick up right where he left off, and really they haven't missed a beat. We're going to continue to do the things we do well, and we continue to do the pursuit drill every single day, which was kind of Aaron Marshall's bread and butter. It's just a dog-tired hustle drill, and so we continue to do that, and we're going to have the same mentality and the same approach on defense.
All right, good stuff with Rapid City Christian. A preview for the Comets. They've got Canton, a game to watch with East River, West River in 11A this week. Matt McIntosh, I'll let you get back to it. Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks, Nate. Take care.
Appreciate you. Matt McIntosh in tonight talking Rapid City Christian football. A little preview from the Comets. Now he's getting back on the sled, getting pushed around. Man, I like coaches active in practice. I love it. He was breathing hard. They must have been taking it to him. Matt McIntosh on tonight talking Rapid City Christian football. And we'll continue our previews as the countdown to 11A, 11AA, 11 AAA getting underway this week. Who's hot and who's not? An FCS college football program just sold a record amount of tickets. And they've been around forever. This is really interesting. Who's hot and who's not? Coming up.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Hunting season's just around the corner. Time to gear up with the best names in the business at prices that will not be beat. Like a Wildview 16-megapixel trail cam for just $34.99. The Big Game 16-foot Warrior Pro tree stand is on sale for $149.99. And take aim and comfort with a Hawk Big Denali luxury blind chair for just $134.99. Stop in for these hunting specials and more at your local Fleet Farm. And check out all our weekly deals at fleetfarm.com.
Mom, can we please go to Waitiki Indoor Water Park Resort?
Waitiki? What's so special about it?
Are you kidding? It's got slides, fountains, a lazy river, everything. And it's just a short drive to Rapid City. If we stay at one of the hotels, we get water park passes for free.
Wow, you really did your homework. Okay, what do you say we pack our swimsuits and hit Waitiki this weekend?
Yes, best mom ever.
Unlock your adventure at WaitikiWaterPark.com.
Shop the Black Hills' best selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs, plus GM certified pre-owned at Danny Manhole Rapid Chevrolet. Shop over 350 used cars, trucks, and sport utilities, and buy with no money down, and make no payments for 90 days with qualified credit. All credit apps accepted. Choose from Chevys, GMCs, Rams, Fords, imports, and more. Over 350 of them. You could buy with no down and no payments for 90 days. See us at Danny Manhole Rapid Chevrolet or DannyManholeRapidChevrolet.com.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Lows around 58 tonight under partly cloudy skies, south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mainly cloudy skies expected tomorrow, slight chance for storms. Highs level off around 82. Overcast tomorrow night, lows level off around 58. Upper 70s Thursday and Friday with storms both days. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 80 degrees.
Collins Siding has been the region's premier window siding door and gutter installation specialist since 1974. They use only the highest quality materials and never compromise on their workmanship. Collins Siding is licensed, bonded, and their estimates always include labor, materials, and applicable permits and taxes. Collins Siding has been providing top quality service and exceeding high standards for over 45 years, and you can find out how by visiting them at 2016 Cherry Avenue. Collins Siding, 2016 Cherry Avenue, Rapid City.
Whether you're a pro or a Joe, a weekend warrior or a gardening great, Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is here when you need us. Nobody plans an injury, but when people throughout the Black Hills and beyond suffer a setback, Monument Health Orthopedics is here to provide comprehensive medical care. Our team of board-certified orthopedic surgeons and specialists is dedicated to helping patients regain the quality of life they've lost due to an injury, arthritis, or joint wear and tear. Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine for everyday athletes like you.
Hi, I'm Tim Wrench, and I'm seeking personal injury cases. If you've been injured because someone else did something wrong, call me up. I'm a trial lawyer. I've tried criminal and civil cases for decades, and I can use all of that experience to help you. I also know this, that when insurance companies know that you're represented by a trial lawyer, they take your claim more seriously, and if it is to be settled, it's settled better with a trial lawyer. Wrench Law, 605-341-1111, wrenchlaw.com.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk.
All right, welcome back in. Tuesday edition of the program. Thanks for being here. The Nate Brown Show is on Fox Sports Radio. If you miss us live every afternoon drive, you can catch this show on demand, so we appreciate you listening to the podcast. You can download it on your own time. We have a fan who emailed me last night. He sent me an email. He said, I'm still listening to you when I walk the dog the next day on the podcast. That's good stuff. Walking the dog on the Nate Brown Show. Healthy. Download it. Apple, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you get your podcast, search The Nate Brown Show, and you've got the podcast. Good show tonight. Justin Sell, South Dakota State Athletic Director on. Mike Golick Jr., Brian Noe, and Matt McIntosh. Hey, let's get into it. Who's hot and who's not right now, brought to you by the Pizza Ranch, home of everyone's favorite buffet, your locally owned and operated Pizza Ranch. Wrapping up the show every night at this time with a who's hot and who's not hitter. Who's hot category goes to, remember I told you the best fan base in FCS football, I still think? I know the Jacks are coming along really well. I said it was the Montana Grizzlies, and here's why. Montana has just sold out a record season tickets for football. This is a program that's been around forever, very popular. They're not even the best they've been. The Montana Grizzlies sold out a program record 19,737 season tickets. That's 19,737 season tickets. That would put them at second in the Mountain West Conference right now, just behind Boise State, right? Boise State, where are you going to be in 5 years? Anyway, Montana, record season tickets for a program that's been around for a long time. In our Pizza Ranch, who's not tonight? You know, you got to be careful what you see on the internet. You have to be careful. You have to verify. In my who's not, people were saying Cologne didn't have a varsity football team anymore. The Cologne Cowboys, they do have a varsity football team. I don't know how good they might struggle a little bit, but at least they're playing varsity football. We had people, they don't have a team. They don't have this. How are they in the rankings and this and that? The Cologne football team does have a varsity program, and I wish them the best of luck. Thanks for playing. And thanks for listening to the Nate Brown Show. Hey, we're back and better than ever tomorrow. Remember to download the Nate Brown Show podcast. It's going up right now. Great guest lineup tomorrow. We'll keep on rocking as we count down to college football. See you tomorrow.
Text scams continue to rise, and victims who have lost money to these scams continues to increase.